Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me for another one of my videos today. Well, actually I covered this video over on my IGTV, Instagram TV a few weeks ago, and I thought it was such a good video not to do a full-length video here for you guys on YouTube too. So today's video is all about 5 ways to create healthy boundaries in your life. And the reason why I say healthy boundaries is because boundaries can be quite a topic that people either nail or they get really confused with. And I know myself personally, I can admit that I thought boundaries had to be quite a forceful, masculine energy of like rah, and it really didn't have to be. So creating healthy boundaries is so much more rewarding and fulfilling for you. So number 1, in order to create healthy boundaries, is to say no when you mean no. Now that may seem really simple, but put your hand up if you're a person who oversubscribes to saying yes to people. We can all do it in our life, whether we're made to sort of feel guilty, we feel like we should say yes, we should help people constantly, we should do those things, we should say yes to plans all the time. But healthy boundaries is saying no when you mean no. If you don't want to do something, if you don't want to go out that day, see that person, do that thing, whatever it may be, or do a favor for someone, saying no when you mean no is so important. That's a healthy boundary to set, and it's a very self-loving action for yourself as well. And all of these tips are designed to help you create more self-love in your life, because when you respect yourself and your boundaries and put those energetic and physical boundaries out there as well with people, they're going to respect it too. So if you respect your boundaries, mirror wise, they're going to respect your boundaries too. Number 2 is don't react in the heat of the moment. Now this again may seem really obvious, but I do it sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of you will be saying, me too. It's so hard sometimes not to react in the heat of the moment, and it's so easy to be in that moment of like, no, you shouldn't be doing this, or no, you can't say that, or no, that's not true, and you just want to be like, no. But sometimes it is best, and I know this from experience, to just take some time out to process, to reevaluate, to even find forgiveness first and just calm down from the situation. So then when I go back into that situation, I'll have to face it or have to say something, that I can be from a calm, neutral place where I'm not in my ego, I'm not in a reactive state, and I know how I feel. Because sometimes how we think we feel in a moment, later on we'll feel so much different, and we'll think, oh, I wish I hadn't said that, or oh, I feel like a right idiot now. So definitely don't react in the heat of the moment, because you don't want to regret it and you don't want to make things worse than what they need to be. So taking that time out will give you the time to be able to process and think, okay, what's my next move here? Do I need to implement boundaries here? Do I need to be more self-loving to myself? How can I voice this in a way that is neutral and of love for the highest good, but also respects me too? So just taking that time, because sometimes we can't instantly have that conversation or have those words to say until we've actually had time to process and had time to calm down. So definitely do not react in the heat of the moment. Number 3 is to voice your truth. And this is so important with creating healthy boundaries. There have been so many times in my life, and I know countless times with people who have told me, the people around me, my clients have felt they couldn't say things, or they couldn't speak up, or they couldn't voice what they really wanted to voice, which was their truth. And this is all part of healthy boundaries. If someone is disrespecting you, using your good nature, you know, people benefit of good-natured people. And I'm not saying they do it like maliciously. Sometimes it's genuinely not, but sometimes it can be. So it's really important for you to be able to voice your truth, for you to be able to say, no, I don't agree with this. No, I don't want to do this. I don't feel this is self-loving to me. You need to show me some respect, blah, 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 whatever the situation may be. It's so important you voice your truth, because that is your truth, and someone doesn't know your truth until you tell them. So it could be a genuine misunderstanding, and they're not going to know how to resolve it or what you do require from that friendship, partnership, whatever, unless you tell them. So speaking your truth is such a self-loving act where you can put across and voice your needs, your desires with that situation or with that connection, and hopefully create a really positive outcome where that person can be like, wow, I didn't know you felt like this. Okay, like let's resolve this. So voicing your truth is so important, not only to work with your divine feminine energy, but also as an act of self-love. The more you voice your truth and speak your truth, i.e. saying no when you mean no, voicing when you feel things aren't fair and when you want things to change, will create shift, will create change. Because if you don't feel confident enough to own that and claim that, the universe can't bring it to you either. Number 4 is that their reaction is not your problem. And this is so true. When you voice healthy boundaries, when you voice your truth, when you voice that you want things to change, or that you say no, or you stand up for yourself, or you try to create that change by having a different reaction, sometimes people aren't going to like that, and that's not your problem. How someone responds to your healthy boundaries is just not your problem. If they respond negatively, angry, reactive, or nasty, that is their energy, their choice, their decision. We all have a choice how we show up, how we respond, how we communicate with people, and the actions we do with people as well. They have a choice to do those things to you. So if you're having to voice your truth and implement boundaries, remember they've already made that conscious choice to, you know, do whatever it may be where you feel that boundaries are necessary. So how they respond to you from that point of view saying, I'm not okay with this, is not your problem, because again, their reactiveness, if that does happen, is their ego. It's them feeling attacked or wounded or like, oh my God. And that's not what it's meant to be if you do healthy boundaries in the right way. So how they react is not your problem. If someone doesn't like your boundaries, then that's their problem. If they can't respect that, you don't want them in your life anyway. And the more you speak up, the more you set these boundaries, and the more self-love you give yourself, I can't even begin to explain how better you will feel, how happier you will feel. You will feel that you're like taking care of yourself, being self-loving to yourself and your needs. And energetically, over time, that is going to mirror to you. So even if you don't see those shifts in circumstances straight away, energetically, the more you show up, the more you keep voicing your truth, the more you implement these healthy boundaries and stick to them when they're being tested, energetically the universe will meet you there. And not forgetting as well, if someone has genuinely got your best interests at heart, is a good friend, good partner, good family member, whatever, and they really love and care about you, or even value if it's a boss or anything like that, they will take those boundaries on board. They will think, okay, clearly, like, you know, I need to change how I'm behaving or what I'm saying or what we're doing, and that's okay. Someone who respects you and values you will listen, will take that on board, and will action that. Remember, action. Change behavior is the best apology, so action that. And if someone can't do that, then the respect's not clearly there, and you've got to think, do I really want to be not respected? Is that really the environment I want to be in? So if they do react negatively, then think, actually, is the universe trying to show me something here? And number 5 is to protect your energy. And I mean energetically as well. So energetic boundaries are also a thing, especially in the spiritual sphere of, we have physical boundaries and we have energetic boundaries as well. So sometimes you have it where you feel someone's just like invading your space, even energetically. And it's really a case of like putting up your protection, whether you call in Archangel Michael, whether you see a white bubble of light and protection around you. Crystals are really good as well. Black tourmaline and black obsidian, smoky quartz are all very protective crystals which you can carry around or even wear. Aura sprays are also really good for cleansing your aura and like removing neggy vibes. Love doing that. And also intention as well is really powerful. So really, like on a regular basis, I like to say, you know, I reclaim my power, I call back my power, because a lot of the time we can give our power away to others, to other situations, sometimes not even, you know, knowingly, consciously that we do it. So really make it a regular practice to call back your own power, to protect your energy, and to make sure that your energetic energy is being respected as well, because that's equally important. So when you have your energetic boundaries and healthy boundaries in terms of people, situations, everyday life, it's the most self-loving thing you can do. So boundaries don't have to be this big, fierce, rah thing. It doesn't have to be that at all. It can be done with love, and that is my number one message here, of all boundaries should be done with love for the highest good of all. So self-loving to you and self-loving to that person if there's another involved. And when you choose love as the boundary and you choose love as the main message of your boundary, you can't go wrong, because you know, the universe is love, the law of attraction is love, spirituality is all love. So the more you communicate with love authentically and voicing your truth, which is the most self-loving thing you can do, it's going to mirror back to you. And if it doesn't in certain people, then use that as a sort of a message or feedback of, actually, does that person respect me? Do I want that in my life? You know, I'm being nice, I'm voicing boundaries, and if someone can't respect that, is that the most self-loving thing for me to have in my life? So all of these are designed to help with self-love. And normally, a lot of the time, what I see with my clients is when they sort of come to me and say, oh, it's my self-love, blah blah, it's boundaries a lot of the time, where, you know, as empaths, as light workers, we give, we serve, we love to help people, and that's beautiful, that's amazing, and like, we should absolutely be proud of that. But sometimes if people aren't necessarily on the same wavelength as us, or I don't know, they kind of see that kind nature as an opportunity to not take advantage. Sometimes it is malicious, sometimes it's genuinely oblivious, like they have no clue they're doing it. But sometimes when you are of that nature where you love to give and you love to serve and you love to help people and see them happy, boundaries are absolutely necessary, because otherwise some people can use that as an opportunity to not necessarily respect you in the right way, or not necessarily treat you in the right way, which is absolutely wrong. So a lot of the time, I see it time and time again, a lot of people are scared to speak up. They say, well, I haven't done it for so long. If I start voicing my truth or voicing boundaries, people are going to think, where's this come from? Like, why are you so defensive? And I get it. Oh my God, I get it. And I have experienced that in my own life. But I got to a point where I was like, there's no other option. There's no other option now, because I am not tolerating the other option of what is happening. So it doesn't have to be a harsh, you know, an uncomfortable situation or a conversation. It's voicing your boundaries with love and saying, this is not okay, I'm not happy with it, and I'm not going to be spoken to like this, I'm not going to be treated like this isn't going to happen, I need to take more time for myself, whatever the situation is. Even if it's at work, of saying, you know, like, I need more support, or I want to do this differently, I'm not happy with this situation. The more you voice, the right people will listen. So if you're not voicing your truth, how do people know how they can help? How do they know how they can change their behavior? Like I said, most of the time people would be oblivious to it, but sometimes you get the people who are conscious, and if they react negatively, that's just not your problem. It's just not. We are all responsible for our own words, actions, energy, and everything we do. So you can't be held responsible for taking that self-loving step and voicing and speaking up with love. Absolutely not. So I hope this video has helped you guys, and I hope that it will help you to be able to implement some extra healthy boundaries in your life, which you can, you know, take forward with you, and obviously create more harmonious relationships and environments in your life. So thank you so much guys for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below, because I reply to them all. And don't forget you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. All the links will be down below for you in the description box. So I hope you have a great week, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you all in my next video, which will be next week. Lots of love, guys.